Hi, this is Mike Bjorkman. Thanks so much for watching Minute with Mike here on SCV TV. Today I'm still with Kim Kaellusch from Style My Space, interior designer, decorator, and home stager. I've talked her into giving us some tips, free tips for you when staging your home. I put homes on the market and I want people to get them as perfect as possible, obviously. Our goal is to get you the highest price and the quickest, most convenient timeline. So Kim is going to give us free tips, and hopefully that will convince you into staging your home properly. Let's start. Say hi, sorry.
Hi.
Let's start with some of maybe the absolute very first things we start with. These are the most important.
Okay, certainly decluttering. We've all heard that.
Right.
So go around, remove the personal photos. We want people to feel as if they're not a guest in your home. And that's one thing that the personal photos can do. One or two here or there is great. It does show family environment and have that feeling of intimacy, but we do also want people to start mentally moving in. The clutter on the fridge, these types of things. Anything that is not decorative is actually clutter. So sort of removing some of those things. All of your walkways in your home, you want to have like a comfortable 3-foot space to get through hallways and different areas and such, so that people, that walk through the home don't feel as if it's crowded. Expansive feels expensive. That's one of my rules with home staging. So also the views. If your home has any views, and first of all, you always want to have the window treatments open as much as possible, letting in as much light. Buyers love light and bright, and they certainly are attracted to that. It feels warm, it feels intimate. If you have a poor view out of a window, one thing that you might do in Santa Clarita, we have a lot of shutters, and so you might tip the shutters a little bit so that you still have the light coming in, but sort of camouflages the view. Anything in front of someone's eye like that, a lot of times when they're just touring a home, they're in and out so quickly, they're not actually looking all the way through there, so that's a good way to camouflage it, but leave everything else open and light and bright. Heavy window treatments, you can almost, especially if they're older, just remove those. You could save them in the garage for the new homeowner. If they want to put them back up, they can put them back up, but they're probably not doing any service in terms of helping to sell the home.
Right.
Biggest thing, views. I can't tell you how many times where I walk out to the edge of someone's yard and couldn't tell it from the inside of the house and can see a view of the whole valley, and it's like, what's happening here? And they say, oh, well, we like the privacy and the intimacy, so we let it all overgrow. What's interesting about that is when I ask them what was the biggest thing that sold them on the house, they'll say the view. So those are the things that you have to go back to and think about. What sold me on this house initially? What was I really the most impressed with? And if those are still things that you can have a wow factor and showcase those to the potential buyers walking through, then you want to go back to sort of that original plan of showcasing those pieces.
Exactly. One of the things you taught me is two most important things, or some of the most important things, are kitchens and bathrooms. It seems to me, I don't know why, but everybody wants to leave everything out. And I guess what we tell people is if you don't use it every day as an appliance, put it away. Because we don't want a coffee maker next to a toaster oven, next to a microwave, next to this, and it completely clutters everything up, right? So would you say if you don't use it every day, put it away?
Absolutely, and when in doubt, take it out. So if it's not decorative, it's clutter. And again, just sort of making your home be as most inviting as it can be. Fresh flowers on the bathroom vanity certainly speak volumes versus the shaver can and the razor. Right. Especially any personal items that have touched your body. Those are your germs and somebody else's coming into your home, and they really want to start mentally moving in, and it's tough for them when they see someone else's toothbrush or their razor, something like that, right, on the counter. Yeah, it should be put away.
Some of my past clients have thought it's okay to leave hair dryers out, which drives me nuts. I even saw one of those old Mrs. Kravitz curling sets on a counter the other day, and this is an $800,000 house. And I'm sitting there going, there's no way. If you don't use it, well, I use it every day. Okay, well, like you said, personal items, get rid of them. If you walk into a hotel and saw those items out on the bathroom, wouldn't you be a little freaked out? Of
Absolutely.
course. Well, these people are coming into a home, right? And they want to picture their stuff there. Even if they want to put their curling iron there, let them picture that, not your hairspray, gooky, nasty things. You know, in kitchens and the trash cans, make sure they're always empty and stored away and things like that. And those are all things that are crucial to me. What do you feel about curb appeal?
Well, we definitely want to have, when people pull up, the best impression that they can have. So the way to sort of ascertain that for yourself, and I know it's tough to look at things objectively when it's your home and you've lived there for years and you love it and maybe you've done a lot of work to it, but stand all the way out into the sidewalk or the street with no traffic and really take a look at your home. A lot of things that can help is just power washing the exterior and washing your windows inside and out, especially if you have views, because then even from the inside, that's going to sparkle more. Any dirt areas that you have, a really inexpensive trick for that is to fill it in with brand new bark. You can get a bag about as big as me for $5 at Home Depot and put it out there. It smells great. It looks great. It looks as if somebody has been manicuring and taking care of the place more than just leaving the dirt areas. And we have a lot of dirt in Santa Clarita.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I also like when we stage a home, we have the trims painted. If they're dull and chipping, you know, for a couple $100, literally, you know, a guy to come for half a day to paint the trim makes it pop, and it's really nice, and it really gives the curb appeal important. How do you feel about garages? Everybody always says, well, it's my garage. That's where I store my junk. What do you think about garages?
Well, what I'd say is clean and neat and tidy as you can keep it. And if you do need to store anything in your garage, there's a way to store things in your garage where it looks like it's consuming less of the garage. And I'm going to explain that. So if I walk into the garage this way and the door opens up this way, and this is my whole garage here, the view that I have of it as the buyer is mostly in this area. If I stack my items, they actually should be stacked along this wall because it will appear as if it's just one layer. If I layer everything along this wall that I see the most of, then I'm seeing this whole expanse of items. And so just as neat and tidy as you can keep it is best.
Right. I'd like all my clients to watch these videos when I come in because it's kind of difficult as an agent putting a home on the market, and here I am interviewing for a job, but now I'm nitpicking all their stuff. So I'm going to say, here, watch all these videos before I get there, so I don't have to be the one. One of the things I wanted to point out, and you know, we talk about these things like this, but as I go through my notes, how many homes do you do a year? And I want to build a little credibility here for the people watching to see just how important this is.
We do a couple hundred homes a year, and so it's interesting. Home staging has actually, a few years ago, was just at 5% of the homes being staged. There's now 25% of homes being staged, and it's just shows it's actually been around for over 30 years. Most people, they see it on the TV and they think, oh, this is, you know, something new and upcoming. It's a tried and true product for over 30 years, and it's really growing. I think someday it will actually become part of every real estate transaction, that everyone will come to say, you know, I want the most money out of my home and I do want to sell it in the most efficient amount of time, because as you and I know, Mike, the first 2 weeks are critical. That's when you're going to get the most offers, the most traffic, and the highest offers. And so having that first impression really set it off is super important.
I'm glad you pointed that out. With home staging as well, let's get back to the tips just a little bit. To me, something that's just huge is flooring. Now, how important is either new carpet or freshly cleaned carpet?
Well, certainly freshly cleaned is always a must, and it's always going to feel the fluffiest and the nicest at that point. If your house needs new carpet, it's maybe green or gray or something like that. It definitely needs new carpet, and certainly if you're in a buyer's market, you definitely want to be doing your as much as you can. So certainly Get some new carpet. The extra padding, a trick that I learned recently is that if you put thicker padding, even though it's less expensive carpeting, you can save a lot of money. Yes. It feels good, it looks great, and people have brand new carpet. And there's always that argument of like, oh, well, you know, people will want to pick their own carpet. Everyone likes neutral now, and I will tell you that changing the carpet will change everyone's perception about your home 100% by having brand new carpet when you really need it. The buyers will buy it up. They don't have the vision to walk in and say, even if you give them a $10,000 carpet credit, which carpet should never run in an average home, they're still going to walk in and not be able to visualize it, and they're still going to walk in and feel like your home is worth less.
Absolutely. I noticed more and more recently that people are using memory foam as pads under carpet, and it feels amazing. It's really, I never would have guessed it, but I don't know how expensive it is, but it's not cheap, but it really makes a difference. All right, what other tips can we talk about? I know we always mention get your chimneys cleaned out and decorate around your, you know, that sort of stuff. What other tips are really valuable when somebody's putting their home on the market?
Well, in terms of staging, certainly on the inside, square footage is king. So whatever you can gather off the floor, you know, a lot of people, they have their toys and whatnot. So, you know, getting everything off the floor that doesn't need to be there. Reduce the amount of furniture to what really suits the scale of the room. Use the room for its intended purpose. I walk into homes a lot of times where they've turned their formal dining room into their kids' playroom. And so that's convenient for living, absolutely, but there's a couple of things that screams to the buyer. First of all, it may not be someone with children and they have a harder time sort of mentally and emotionally connecting to the home, seeing that in the formal dining room. Secondly, it also showcases that there's not enough room in this home for the family to function without turning over their formal dining room into a child's playroom. And so unfortunately, people who walk through get the impression that this home is too small.
Yeah, and they always say, I think this house might be a little small for us. Well, no, it's small for those people, and that's what they do. All right, we're going way over in time. Last thing to me is so important. Everybody asks, I want a professional to say, what on earth do we scent the home with? Cookies, pine tree scent, new car smell? What do you recommend for smells?
You know what's interesting? A clean, neutral scent is probably best. When you're showing the home and having an open house, maybe the smell of fresh baked cookies can sort of endear people to the home. But I have to tell you, in today's society, with all the allergies and the different things that go on with people, sort of masking everything with another scent isn't really helping. Really clean the home. Have it professionally cleaned and have all of the odors neutralized. Use a neutralizer to actually take any other kind of scent out of the home that you can, and keep it as neutral as possible.
Exactly. I'm glad you pointed that out. Like when you walk into a hotel, it smells fresh and clean, some type of light, fresh cleaning product. And also, my good friend Pat Bendrat owns the biotech out here, and they completely sanitize and deodorize the homes with their spray. And boy, it smells perfect when they're done. No more curry smell, no more pet odor, especially.
Absolutely.
And with SCV Leasing, our rental company, you know, people are so sensitive to cats and dogs and pet odors. Once that's done, you can't smell it anymore.
Right,
So.
that's another great solution, and especially, like you said, with people with allergies walking through the home, if you can get it deodorized by a professional, that's a really great step if you have animals.
There you go, folks. So when I say it, don't get mad at me. A professional said it. All right, well, let's wrap it up. I'm Mike Bjorkman. How do they get a hold of you, Kim?
You can stop by my website at stylemyspace.com or give me a call. I'm local SCV. My phone number, cell phone, is 818-726-6429.
Perfect. And to get a hold of me, scvleasing.com for the rental property and SantaClaritaRealEstate.com for the sales. Thanks for watching Minute with Mike here on SCV TV. Have a great day.